Today is Tuesday, August 7th, and today again I went out in the ocean to go chase down some coho. Now, I've been thinking a lot about this and talking with a few other folks that are down here too, and we're chatting about what we're going to be doing each day, how we're going to be going after these fish. Are we going to spend our time in the river or out in the ocean? For us, at least when I say us, I mean us fishing guides, a lot of times our clients are coming in from out of town, Seattle, California, Eastern Washington, Bend, Redmond. I mean, they're coming from a long ways. And for some folks, coming that far of a distance is pretty difficult for just one fish, which is the regulation in the river right now. So what we've been doing is trying to get out in the ocean. And frankly, all throughout July, the ocean conditions were so bad we weren't able to get out there very much. So now that we actually have a little bit better ocean conditions where we can get out there and fish consistently, we're trying to get out there and allow our folks to experience that and come into the dock with 2 fish as opposed to 1. However, if you did the math and just your one Chinook would probably get more meat, more flesh out of it than 2 coho. But a lot of people just had different preferences. They want to catch the big kings, have that nice grip and grin. Some guys just like the taste of coho a little bit better, so they prefer that. So for the last several days, I've been spending my time out in the ocean. However, it sounds like the river actually did pretty decent today. Not great, but pretty decent. So I'm starting to wonder, like I mentioned in yesterday's update, that the Chinook bite might be a little bit better on the bigger tides like it was 2 years ago. Might be the case again this year here too. So don't feel like you need to come down only during those ideal tides. You might be able to come down here and get on a pretty decent bite even during those bigger tides when we tend to see more coho. Which leads me to the next piece. The coho that we found today were in fairly close, at least closer than the last couple days. We're catching them in 55 to 80, 90 feet of water as opposed to a couple days ago we're out in 220. But that has a lot to do with the weather today. The weather was way different today than it was yesterday. The river was nice, the ocean was windy. It was consistent 15 to 25 mile an hour wind coming in right out of the northwest, so it made it really difficult to make a troll. We kept having those wind waves smacking our starboard side as we're trying to troll west. It was pretty darn difficult to control the boat out there, at least control your troll direction. But we were able to find fish. But here's how it changed. I've said throughout the years doing these reports that they can only help you so much because conditions change so quickly down here and the fish move 20 miles a day sometimes. They'll just move north, they'll move south, they'll move upriver, downstream. They're all over the place. But what you can do is just take what you have learned, use your own knowledge, your own skill set to try and adapt and learn and figure out exactly where those fish are and how to target those fish each day, each hour, each part of the tide. And that's what we had to do today. We've the last few days just been able to run out there, find decent water temperature and start catching fish. Well, after yesterday, we actually had a decent bite from 4 to 2 at the CR at the end of the day yesterday. So that was my plan. I was going to go out there and go see how that worked out. Well, that didn't pan out. That wind came in overnight. It pushed a lot of that water out of there. We went from 60, 61 degree water yesterday out in that area to today, 56 degree water. Cold. It was, cold for the fish that we were targeting. So it's way different, completely different. So we had to search around a little bit and we eventually found a little bit of river water that was basically just cupped, just holed up between the 2 tides right around Buoy 3 and just kept working that over and over and over again until eventually we got our fish. But we had to look for them. So even though I'm telling you right now that today I caught them at Buoy 3, tomorrow, probably not. The wind's still blowing, the tides are different, they're going to be in a different spot. So you just need to go out there and keep looking and keep searching until you figure out where the fish are, create some waypoints and just keep on them and stay on top of those fish until they produce and you get your hatchery fish. Today we did have a little bit of a hiccup out there on the safety side. There was a crab pot rope. There was actually no buoy on it that wrapped up into my port motor, and that can be a little bit sketchy out there when you got 3-4 foot rolling swell plus a 2-3 foot wind wave. It can wrap you around, turn you backwards, and try and sink you pretty quick. Fortunately, I have twins, so I was able to bring the boat around, keep the tension off the rope, and my clients helped me out a bunch by getting the boat hook was able to pull that in. I grabbed my knife that I always keep right back there. It's a little Gerber knife that has some serrated edges on it just for cutting rope specifically. So I was able to swing it around, jump onto the back of the platform, get the boat hook, pull in the rope, reach down with the knife, cut it off before it came tight and started sinking us down a little bit. Now the current wasn't running too hard, so it probably wouldn't have been too bad, but it's still not a situation that you want to be in. So always be prepared, life jackets all the time, and have a knife there in the back just in case the same thing happens to you. All in all though, good day. It was definitely rough out there in the ocean, not from the swell, but from the wind waves. The bar was really nice today as compared to yesterday. So again, every day changes. Don't think that this information right now is really going to help you out that much tomorrow. Be safe. Make sure that you pay attention to the weather conditions, to the bar reports, listen to the Coast Guard. And as for the fishing, you just need to use your own knowledge to go target these fish. This information will help you, absolutely, but you need to be able to adapt to the conditions that you're in today, tomorrow, whenever you're coming down here. So, river fished well, ocean fished well. Ocean was rough. River was actually pretty nice weather-wise. When I came back in, there were a bunch of boats on the Oregon side. Sounded like there were some fish being caught on the Washington side first thing this morning. Who knows? The tide's where we're at right now. Most of the fish should be held up way above the bridge, but I wouldn't be surprised, like I mentioned in yesterday's update, there's a lot of fish right there off the tips. I would not be surprised in near high slack. There are Chinook and Coho right next to 10. We did hear that further up north there were some more Chinook being caught. Excellent. We ended up getting a Chinook today. Brandon got a Chinook yesterday. So that means there should be a nice wad of Chinook starting to pile in here on this next tide set. So fishing can only go up from here, get a little bit better. That's pretty much our update for today. Now it's time to go work on the boat. I need to go check that prop and make sure everything's still good to go for tomorrow. Back in the ocean, here we come, if the weather allows. All right, guys, we'll see you later.